शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरु परम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नाम रूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धिर्गृह्यतु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्तवेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः। Yes.
Yesterday we were seeing the fifth tippani on page number 11, where first of all the mantras of Kathopanishad are given, in which the first two mantras show the analogy. Then the next two mantras, fifth and sixth mantra, are showing the two types of buddhi. And in the seventh and eighth mantra, the two types of Ratha Swami are described based on what kind of buddhi they possess. So in the seventh mantra, it is said that a jiva, who is the Ratha Swami, for whom the buddhi is endowed with viveka and who has got a mind which is disciplined, he yes.
It is.
For the jiva who has got a buddhi which is without viveka and a mind which is indisciplined, he will be always impure, in the sense that he will be doing some or the other papa karma because of instinctive behavior, and therefore he will be impure. And such a jiva will not attain that padam, the goal, and he will remain in samsara. Here it says he attains samsara. Either he remains in samsara, continues in samsara, or he attains deeper samsara. In the next mantra it is said, whereas the jiva who has got an intellect which is vivekavan, means which has got viveka, and a disciplined mind, that jiva is always pure. Why? Because he is doing the activities as per Shastra. And that jiva will attain that highest goal, having attained which he will not be born again. And in the next mantra, what is that highest goal is explained. It is said, Naraha, a person who is having Vijnana Sarthi, the driver, in the form of Viveka Yukta Buddhi, and whose mind is disciplined, that Naraha attains the other side of the path, means the destination, which is moksha. And what is that destination? Vishnoho Paramam Padam. Paramam Padam here refers to Satatvam, Satchidananda Swarupam, means that person attains or owns up his Satchidananda Swarupa, and Vishnu refers to the all-pervasive Lord. And now in the next part of the Tippanikara explains this mantras. He gives the essence of this mantras, saying that for the Ratha in the form of Sharira, the Indriya are the horses, the Mana is the rein, the Buddhi is the driver, and Atma is the Rathi, the Ratha Swami. And then he explains the fifth to eighth mantra, combining them in two sentences. For whichever Yajamana, means the Ratha Swami, the Buddhi is having Viveka and is skilled. For him, the Indriyas, which the horses in the form of Indriyas, having gone to the right path, And Sanmarga we saw in two different ways. Sanchaso Margaha cha Sanmarga means the right path which leads to Brahma Jnanam, means the auspicious path. And another is Sataha Paramatmanaha Margaha, the path which leads to Paramatma. So the horses in the form of Indriyas, having gone to that Sanmarga, makes the Yajmana attain moksha. And in the next sentence it is said, whereas a Yajmana who has got the Buddhi Sarthi, which is Viparita, means which does not have Viveka and which is not skilled, that, that Yajmana, that the Indriyas, that Yajmana attains Niraka. How? By going through the path which is Nishiddha, which is prohibited in the Shastra, means what is not to be done, with the help of the horses in the form of Indriyas. So thus,
by the horses. Help generally used in positive sense.
So by
or because of the horses.
Yes. So thus, the two contrasting views or the ideas which is presented in the Shruti were described. And then the Granthakara says, Tasmat, therefore. It's because of the Anvaya and Vyatireka which has been seen right now. A Mumukshu having or doing the withdrawal of the Buddhi from the Swechachara, from instinctive behavior, should lead or should motivate the horses in the form of Indriyas to Sanmarga. And then the Tippanikara gives the definition of Shama and Dama as per this Kathopanishad Shruti. He is saying that Shamaha means taking or bringing under one's control the Sarthi in the form of Buddhi. And Damaha means mastering the horses in the form of Indriyani. And then two more shlokas, or one of them is mantra, are quoted, where it is said in the first mantra, which is from Brahma Bindu Upanishad, it is said that for the humans, the mind alone is the cause for the bondage and freedom, based on the difference in the state of the mind. And that is explained in the next half of the mantra. The mind, which is Vishaya Saktam, means which is attached to the objects, means which has got this understanding that happiness comes from object, situation, or people. That kind of mind is the cause for bondage. Whereas the mind which is nirvishayam, which does not have this understanding, or which has outgrown this understanding that external objects, people, and situation are the cause for happiness, is the cause for freedom. And then it is said in the next shloka, the mind alone is the cause for all the objects. And here, when we are saying all the objects, it represents samsara. So, mind alone is the cause for samsara. And how is it so? For that, the Anvaya and Vyatireka is given, saying that when the mind is there, then the three worlds are experienced. When the mind is resolved in the Shushupti Avastha, then the three worlds are not experienced, means they are also resolved. And we add here Tasmat, therefore. Means since mind alone is the cause for samsara, therefore that mind should be treated diligently. And how it should be treated? With the medicine in the form of Shastra, which is given by the doctor in the form of Guru.
So such a long footnote is there. One sentence on the Gulam. Shamadinam Shannamapi Sadhananam Eka Sadhanatvena Vipretatvat Vivekadini Chatvari Eva Sadhanani Na Nava Iti Gnayam. Shamadhi, 6 Shama etc. 6 sadhanas are considered, Abhipreta considered as one sadhana. And therefore we have got 4 sadhanas only total, not 9. And how Eka Sadhanatvam is there, how all 6 put together are considered to be one, that is being explained by this very long footnote. And he started the explanation on the Eka Sadhanatvam of 6 sadhanas, firstly by quoting the Kathopanishad mantra. And then he gave the saram of the mantra. What is the essential idea conveyed by these mantras? Then he gave the definition of Shama and Dhamma with reference to the description given in those mantras. And ideas conveyed by the mantra was that one needs to have the mastery over the Buddhi Sarathi, so that Buddhi Sarathi will be leading the Indriyashvan properly on the right path and person will attain moksha. So this idea about the necessity of having the mastery over the mind is being further substantiated by those 2 shlokas which are quoted here. Anyatra api uttam, elsewhere. Anyatra means compared to Kathopanishad mantra. Anyatra api uttam, elsewhere also it is told. Then maneva manushyanam karanam banda mokshayo bandaya vishayasaktam mukte nirvishayam sputam. And here nirvishayam literally means objectless. Nirgataha vishayaha yasmat manasaha tat manaha nirvishayam. So literally it means objectless. But mind cannot be objectless. Literally it is not possible that mind is objectless, because the objectless is that is no more mind. Therefore nirvishayam should be understood contextually. And this, to understand the context, we have got the help of the word Vishayasaktam. So Vishayasaktam yadi bandhaya syat, tarhi Vishaya anasaktam mukti sat. And therefore nirvishayam is Vishaya anasaktam. So that mind which is not having this identification, attachment to the objects, that is mukti, is the means for moksha. And then next sloka also has somewhat similar idea. Chittam karanam arthana. The mind is the cause for the objects. Means for the experience of the objects. And objects here represent Dvaita Prapancha. And Dvaita Prapancha with Satyatva Buddhi and Sukha Hetutva, Dukha Hetutva Buddhi is samsara. So generally we distinguish these two. Samsara and the word, many times they are interchangeably used. But really speaking, the word, experiential world itself is not samsara. The world which is consisting of various objects themselves are not samsara. But the objects which are given satyatva buddhi, means which are given the sense of reality, which are attributed with sense of reality, and also sukha hetutva buddhi, that these objects are the source of my happiness. Not only sukha hetutva buddhi, dukha hetutva buddhi also, that these objects are source of my dukkha. That world becomes samsara. So the world, objective world is not samsara. If objective world is samsara, then wise person also will be samsari only. Why? Because for wise person also objective world is there. But the world consisting of objects, along with these two, satyatva buddhi, sukha hetutva, dukha hetutva buddhi, 3 rather. So 3 buddhis, that becomes samsara. And that is represented by the word arthana. Chitta karanam arthanam tasmin sati jagatrayam. Tasmin sati means chitte sati. When the mind is, there is jagatrayam, the threefold world. Experientially, the world is only when the mind is. And then only samsara is. Tasmin kshine jagat kshinam. When the mind is resolved, the world is resolved. And therefore, tat manaha chittam chikitsyam. Chikitsyam means to be treated prayatnataha. Prayatna means diligently with efforts. And what is the prayatna? Yesterday we saw that prayatna is in the form of going to this teacher, learning the scripture, and getting the knowledge of the truth of the mind. What is the truth of mind? The mind by itself is mithya. The truth of the mind is atma. In this manner, when the mind is understood, then mind is no more a problem. And then, practically speaking, it is a manonasha. Manonasha means the destruction of the mind. So there are various interpretations of manonasha. One of them is the problematic mind is gone. The mind which is creating problem. Many people say, Swamiji, uh, external people are not problem. My own mind is problem. That's one step good. One step further, person has gone. At least he is not blaming the world. But still, mind is a problem. Why? Because it has been given Satyatva Buddhi and we have some insistence. This is how the mind should be. Anything less than that, even small deviation, lot of criticism, self-criticism. Therefore, sometimes people after studying Vedanta, they become more depressed, look like. So, family people will say that, in Kannada, say, "Enaitu? What happened to you?" So, we are okay. Because, this Vedanta pursuit is not understood properly, and therefore, what some complexes come, which were not there earlier. Different complexes were there, now different complexes come. Earlier, I was so particular about my look. Now, I am so particular about what all conditions of the mind should be. Little bit deviation, no people they do. I don't know. I have a mic here. I forgot. So whether physically or mentally, we keep on slapping. Angry. People say that, Swamiji, I am angry with everybody. I am angry with myself. Why? Because we have so much insistence about about how the mind should be. So slowly one becomes free from that. When understands what is the place of the mind, what is the reality of the mind, and what all wrong ideas we have about how the mind should be. When we become free from all of them, then this chikitsa is done. And then this mind, the problematic mind is not there. Functional mind is there, problematic mind is not there. That is what chikitsa prayatna. And in Mandukya Karika, this is discussed in the third chapter, Manodrishyamidam Dvaitam. This idam dvaitam manodrishyam. It is just drishyam of manaha. And manaso hyamani yat kinchit sacharacharam. Mana drishyam idam dvaitam yat kinchit sacharacharam. Manaso hyamani bhave dvaitam naivopalapyate. When mind becomes non-mind, then dvaitam is not experienced. And when this is heard, then generally people think that I have to dissolve the mind completely. I have to quieten the mind completely. I have to destroy the mind completely. And therefore they specifically work for it. And that is why most of the people they think meditation means making the mind thoughtless. It is a thoughtless idea to think that mind is to be made thoughtless. If mind is to be made thoughtless, then why this mind has started thinking? It is designed for thinking only. It is like I want to make my car non-functional. What is this? Why did you bring the car? So it is we don't see that it is not logical and it is not necessary. We connect moksha with the thoughtlessness. That is a thoughtless idea. So we need to work for. We need to see that we need to see the fallacy of the thinking. So many people think that making the mind thoughtless is called amani bhava. And therefore, here, there, the commentator says, Vishnu Devanandi, he says, how mind is to be made amani, how the amani bhava, mindlessness of the mind is to be brought about. He says, Viveka Darshanabhyasa Vairagyabhyam Nigrihite. So when the mind is made amani, means the non-problematic, how? By repeatedly seeing the truth. Viveka Darshanabhyasa and Vairagya. And then what happens? Then mind is no more a problem. And that idea, what this Gaudapadacharya himself says, Atma Satyanubodhena na sankalpayate yada. By seeing that Atma alone is Satyam, Manaha, Indriyani, etc. are Mithya, then there is nothing remains to be thought over by the mind as reality. Amanastam tadayati grahya bhave tadagraham. Then mind is no more a mind. Why? Because grahya, a real entity to be perceived, is not there. Therefore, mind is as though non-mind. And then Acharya explains that mind continues to shine. Tadapi manah spurati eva. But the appreciation of the person who has got Atma Satyatva Bodha, Atma alone is Satya, one who has this understanding, that person Manaspurati means Chit Eva Spurati. Manorupena Aham Chit Eva Spurami. So I alone am shining in the form of mind. There is no mind which is apart from me. And therefore, there is no problem at all. Mind becomes a problem because we want the mind to go in a particular direction. And initially, some discipline is required where you direct the mind, it should be diverted from, it should be withdrawn from certain objects and it should be engaged in certain objects. All these are required. But when you have the abidance in this understanding that I alone am Satyam, everything including the mind is Mithya, and the truth of Mithya is Satyam only, then wherever the mind goes is Samadhi. Yatra yatra manoyati tatra tatra samadhaya. In Drisha Viveka, wherever the mind goes, there is Samadhi. And that is called Amani Bhava. And that is what is Chikitsyam Chittam. Is it clear? Tasmat Tachityam. Tasmat means what? Chittam Karanam Arthanam. Since Chittam is Arthanam, Samsara, Samsarasya Karanam, therefore Chikitsyam. So we have to connect with Tat Chikitsyam with Chittam Karanam Arthanam. And why Chittam is Arthanam Karanam? Anvaya Vyatirekat. Tasmin sati jagatrayam tasmin kshine jagatkshinam ataha chittam arthanam karanam. Ataha tat chittam chikitsyam. That is how the connection is. Prayatnataha. Up to this we have seen. Now the next. Saratehe ashvanam cha yatha parasparadhinata तथा बुद्धेः इंद्रियाणां च परस्पराधीनता वर्तते. Now he comes to the main point. What is the main point? That 6 sadhanas are considered to be one. How is it so? That is being explained by him now. Now he starts the big. This was the only background preparation. Now he comes. Sarathehe ashwanam cha yatha parasparadhinata. Just as Sarathe ashwanam cha, of the driver and the horses. Parasparadhinata, there is a mutual dependence. Without Sarathi, horses, what will they do? Horses cannot take, no, without the Sarathi being there. Sarathi is required for reaching the destination. Mere horse is not enough. And driver is there, but horses are not there. कभी कभी होता है ना, the driver is there, but the car is not there. Sometimes car is there, driver is not there. Both situations we have in ashram. So most of the time driver is not there. Car is generally there. So sometimes car is under repair. Repair also happens. So both are required. So they depend upon each other. Driver himself cannot take you to the destination. Car also cannot take you to the destination. So you require what? Driver and the car. Especially when you are not doing the driving. That you have to understand. Then personally I will drive. So I myself drive. So Sarathe, my person like me, those who don't know driving. Sarathe ashwanam cha yatha paraspara dhinata. There is mutual dependence of driver and the horses. Modern example, driver and the car. Tatha, similarly, buddhehe indriyanam cha parasparaadhinata vartate. Similarly, there is a mutual dependence of buddhi and indriya. They depend upon each other for smooth functioning. Buddhi will give the decision when indriya brings the data. Data collection is by indriya. The scientists, when they are doing research, they require data collection. Without data collection, what research? One person wanted to do some PhD on something. Atma is Chaitanya Swarupa. No, that Jyotir Brahmana is there in Brihadaranyaka. On that he wants to do PhD. Then he took this topic to the university person. He said, "बोला आपने research क्या करोगे? Data collection क्या है?" Drop. I also said. I said, "This cannot be the topic of research. Well, how will you do?" Atma is Swayam Jyotihi Chaitanya Swarupaha. And he wrote some article on that. He said, "I want to do PhD on that." I said, the PhD format will not permit. The data required. Without data, what research? Then I told him, you do this research. I just, by the way, I'm telling you. I said, the impact of study of Vedanta. That perhaps some data you can collect. Some negative also can come. Anyway, by the way, so what I want to say that Indriyas need to bring the data for Buddhi to process. And Indriyas themselves cannot process. They require Buddhi boss. So, Buddhi and Indriya, they have got Paraspara Dhinata. They have got mutual dependence on it. And therefore, the mastery over the body and mastery over the organs, they are interconnected. And that idea he further explains and answering that possible doubt that why not there are 9 sadhanas and only 4 sadhanas. Why it is so? That he answers. Now this is the main answer. Vichitra anekamani gatita malayaha yatha chamikarattvena ekatva vyavaharaha. Drishtanta. Yatha, just as malayaha, one mala, one particular chain or collection, which is yukta, which is endowed with what? Aneka mani, many gems, like Navaratna mala. So many gems which are vichitra, which are of different types, various. Just as mala, one particular thread having all many beads strung into it, that mala, which is endowed with many gems, many and various gems, chami karatvena as one necklace, ekatva vyavaharaha. There is a transaction as one. Even though there are many beads, but still all of them are put together called one necklace. If somebody asks you, what are you wearing? You don't say, I am wearing many beads. You don't say that. What do you say? I am wearing one necklace. So, chami karatvena as necklace, ekatva vyavaharaha. There is a transaction, abhignana and abhidha, both. So, the vyavahara, they are thinking and also talking. That vyavahara is what? Ekatva vyavahara. So, there is a transaction as one entity, one thing. So, many beats are there, but when they are put together, they are transacted as one entity. Ekatva vyavahara. Tatha, similarly, षण्णामपि विलक्षणानां समाधीनां परस्पर परस्परापेक्षणेन एकसाधनत्व व्यवहारः. Similarly, six sadhanas, which are vilakshana, different from each other, paraspara apekshanena, since there is a mutual dependency, therefore they are connected, and therefore ekasadhanatva vyavaharaha. There is a transaction of their being as one sadhana. Ekasadhanatva vyavahara means ekasadhanatvena vyavahara. There is a transaction, mental transaction, verbal transaction as one sadhana. So Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam, they are considered one sadhana because they are mutually connected. Like how many and varied beads are mutually connected, therefore all of them put together are treated as one entity, one thing. Similarly, the Shama, the Shat, which are like gems, which are like money. And money doesn't mean your clock, okay? Money means gems. So that because in Tamil, money means clock. So that is not here. Money, many gems are there. They are treated as one. So gems like Samadhi sadhanas, even though they are many, they are treated as one because of their mutual expectancy. Like one bead we don't call mala. So many beads put together only mala. So every bead expects others to be there along with it. Then only it can be chami karatva vyavahara yogya. It can be fit for chami karat vyavahara. And similarly, all gunas, every guna, every one of the six is expecting the other five. Shama is expect Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. Similarly, Dhamma will expect all other five. So Paraspara Apeksha is there, and therefore they put together are treated as one sadhana. That is the answer. Paraspara is there, no? Sadhananam eka sadhanatvena abhipretatvat. That is explained here. Now, for all six sadhanas to be treated as one, what is the hetu? What is the reason given? Paraspara pekshanena. Now that paraspara pekshanam is explained. You see how much leisure he has got. The author has a lot of leisure. So those who have interest, they will feel, wow, how nice it is. Those who don't have interest, अरे क्या ये हम समझ गए एक ही है बस एक ही है चलो आगे बढ़ो तो उसके लिए नहीं है तो those who think that this how nice it is that it is elaborately explained, so those who have leisure and those who have mind, it is very interesting. Okay. Shamadinam paraspara sahayata cha itham. Paraspara sahayata means mutual help. Shamadinam of Shama etc. Itham in this manner. Chetham is there ना cha itham. Okay. Otherwise चेतन क्या होता है डिक्शनरी में मिलेगा नहीं. So चेतन will not be there. Cha itham. Okay. So paraspara sahayata itham shamadinam. Okay. So how samadhi are mutually helpful, that is said in the next the following sentences. First is showing that how five qualities, Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam, it is Shama, all of them are expecting Shama. All five qualities are expecting Shama. How is it so? That is explained. Manovashikaranamantарena indriyasya jayaha na sambhavati iti damaha shamam apekshate. So, first one is Dhamma. Because first is Shama, then second is Dhamma. So, Dhamma expects Shama. Means for having proper, effective Dhamma, sufficient Dhamma, this Shama is required. How? Manovashikaranamantарena. Without the mastery over the mind, indriyasya jayaha na sambhavati. The mastery over the organ is not possible. Paryapta matra. In sufficient measure and effective damaha will not be possible. And therefore, damaha shamam apekshate. So, dhamma, to be effective, to be sufficient, it expects shama. Otherwise, dhamma will remain as only separation. And lot of conflicts will be there, and person will have a double life. Double life means what? In front of everybody, he will be doing dhamma, and when it is not there, the dhamma is gone. And therefore, shamaha is required. So, dhammaha, to be effective, to be healthy, shamam apekshate. Alright. Then second one is what? Shraddha shamam apekshate. This is a very unique analysis. I have not seen this type of analysis. That how each one of them is expecting each one of them. So here it is said, Bahirmukhasya manasaha Daraputra Vitta Adhyasaktasya Vedanta Shastra Guru Prabhutishu Purna Shraddha Sambhavat Shraddha Shamam Apekshate. Even Shraddha requires Shama. Achha, how Shraddha needs or Shraddha expect Shama? It says, Bahirmukhasya manasaha. The person whose the mind which is Bahirmukha, Manasaha, the mind which is extrovert, means not disciplined, means Shama is not there. So Vyatireka Mukhena, he is showing the Apeksha. So if Shama is not there, then what will be the condition of the mind? Dara, Putra, Vittadhyasaktasya, Manasaha. The mind which is attached to, holding on to, what? Dara, wife. Dara is a Nitya Pullinga Shabda. Pullinga Shabda. That's a very uniqueness of Sanskrit. The wife can be also masculine. So Dara. Then Putra. Putra means son. Vitta, wealth. Adi. Adi Padena Gruha. House. Stock market. Whatever. So Dara, Putra, Vitta. With stock market we should not say because included in Vitta. So Dara, Putra, Vitta. Land. House. Or one's name and fame. Asaktasya. The person who is attached to Daraputra Vittadi, sorry, the mind which is attached to all of them. Vedanta Shastra Guru Prabhutishu Purna Shraddha Sambhava. There is an impossibility of Purna, complete Shraddha in Vedanta Shastra, Guru, etc. A Prabhuti Shabda is Ishvara. So, when mind is so much attached to all of them, then Shraddha in Vedanta, Shastra, Guru, etc. doesn't come into the picture. Irrelevant. Because he is so busy with all of them, the Dara, Putra, etc. Then Shastra and Guru, Shastra, Guru, etc. out of syllabus. Only this they will be attached to. And they will have Shraddha. Because without Shraddha, human being cannot live. You will have Shraddha. But Shraddha in what? Dara. Wife Shraddha. पुत्र श्रद्धा, वित्त श्रद्धा. पैसा है ना स्वामी जी मेरे पास, ऐसे वो लोग अपना हैंड है ना, he will be putting on his pocket. पैसा है ना स्वामी जी, सब कुछ होगा. So everything will happen. Shraddha is there in what? Vitte Shraddha. Shraddha in Shastra will not be there. Shraddha in Guru will not be there. And the Purna Shraddha, little bit Shraddha may be there. And that also what? Dara Putra Vittadi Prapti Angatvena Shraddha will be there. Acha, I will have Shraddha in Veda. How? If Veda can give me some ritual for getting more money. That. So my main Shraddha is there in Vitta only. And he tried, it didn't work. He did the ritual, didn't work. No Shraddha. Now Veda no Shraddha, Vedanta also no Shraddha. Because Vedanta is a part of Veda. So Purna Shraddha will not be there in Vedanta, Shastra, Guru, etc. Vedanta, Shastra, Guru, etc. Therefore, Shraddha Shamam Apekshate. Then third one. Antara Mano Nirodham Brahmani Chittaikadrya Sambhavat Samadhanam Shamam Apekshate. He says, without Mano Nirodha, mastery over the mind, Antara means without. Without mastery over the mind, Brahmani, in Brahman, Chittaikadrya, the concentration of the mind, is asambhavat, is impossible. We have seen what is the definition of Samadhanam, Lakshe Brahmani Chittaikadryam. That is Samadhanam. That will not happen. When Mano Nirodha, mastery over the mind is not there. Because mind is not disciplined, mind is not under his mastery, and therefore what? Samadhanam is not possible. Therefore, Samadhanam api Shamam apekshate. Samadhana Kartrupadam. Shamam, the Karma Padam. Samadhanam Kartrubhutam Shamam Karma apekshate. Because both are Samadhanam Shamam. So therefore, we have to be clear about it. Okay. The fourth one. Uparatihi Shamam apekshate. Uparati means what? Karmanam Vishayanam cha Parityagaha. This definition he has given. So Parityaga, Uparati. That Uparati expect Shama. So Uparati to be maintained, Uparati to be in sufficient measure, Shama is required. That he explained. And he gives the example. Nice example he gives. Kshiradina Samvartitaha Marjaraha. पाशाद्य वशीकृतत्वात् मूषक दर्शन मात्रेण यथा तत् ग्रहणाय धावे एवं विषयेभ्यः उपरतमपि मनः निरोधादिभिः अवशीकृतं चेत् संप्राप्ते विषये प्राचीन वासना वेगात् धावे इति अतः उपरतिः शमम् अपेक्षते. He gives the example. What is the example? One Devadatta, he wants to have this cat, and cat is a pet, so he wants, and for that, and he is a vegetarian, so he doesn't want his cat to eat the rat, and therefore he gives lot of milk and whatever cat likes, but all vegetarian items, no mushaka. So only milk. Therefore, Kshiradina Samvarditaha Marjaraha. Samvardita means brought up, tamed. This Marjara, cat, Kshiradina. The Marjara, the cat which was brought up, Kshiradina, with milk, etc. All vegetarian items. But it was not controlled, it was not tied to anything with this rope, etc. Pashadi avashikritatva. Since it was not tied by, it was not mastered or controlled by Pashadi, some rope, etc. Therefore, what happens? As long as rat is not seen, cat will remain vegetarian. Because this house is very clean, so rat also doesn't come. This Devadatta is a very good householder. So his cat is vegetarian. No mushaka. But mushaka darshana matrena. By mere the sight of mushaka, the rat, this cat is seeing the rat. Even though the cat is not told by anybody, by mother cat, that whenever you see rat, you go after. Not that. But it happens, samskara is there. Swabhav vashat. Yatha tadgrahanaya. Tadgrahanam mushaka grahanaya. For catching this rat, dhave, the marjara, the cat will definitely run. Dhave. So this is the example. Cat, even though it was brought up with this milk, etc., and as long as it did not see any rats, then it remains vegetarian. But moment it sees the rat, then the cat will run after rat. Okay, similarly, evam, our mind is like marjana. Evam, vishebhyaha uparatam api manaha. The mind which was withdrawn from the objects because he was staying in some Gurukula. And therefore, the lot of, Gurukula Vasa discipline is there, routine is there. Therefore, relatively uparatam. And then vacation comes. So, evam vishebhyaha uparatam api manaha. The mind which was withdrawn from the objects, but nirodhadivihi avashikritam che. If it is not mastered by samadhi, then samprapte vishaye, when the objects come, prachina vasana vega, because of the fervor, the force of the old vasanas, dhave, kim dhavet? Manaha dhave. The mind would run. Iti ataha. Therefore, uparatihi shamam apekshate. कर्म विषय परित्याग रूप उपरति shamam apekshate. The uparati, which is in the form of renunciation of the objects and karma, shamam apekshate. To maintain the uparati, this shamam is required. So idea is that all of them are interconnected. That is the point he is showing with all these details. Okay. Now, next one is titiksha api shamam apekshate. How? अंतर्मुखी भूत मनसा एव शीतोष्णादि द्वंद्व सहनम कर्तुम शक्यते न तो बहिर्मुखी भूतम भूतम बहिर्भूतम मनसा इति अतः तितिक्षा अपि शमम अपेक्षते. He says अंतर्मुखी भूत मनसा एव, by the mind which is inward, antarmukhi bhuta manasa, by such mind which is now focusing on this contemplation. I am sakshi of all the thoughts. I am sakshi of this comfort and discomfort in the sense organs in the body. If that is the subject matter for this person or for the mind, that is busy with that. Shastra Chintanam, the Nididhyasanam in that mind is busy. Then Shitoshnadi Dvandva Sahanam Kartum Shakyate. So when your mind is committed to something very high, then Shitoshnadi Dvandva Sahanam, acceptance of the pairs of opposites such as Shita, Ushna, etc., Kartum Shakyate is possible to do. Natu, but not Bahirmukhi Bhuta Manasa. We have to comply, connect with what? Natu Bahirmukhi Bhuta Manasa Dvandva Sahanam Kartum Shakyate. By the mind which is running outside, or by that mind, this Dvandva Sahanam Kartum na Shakyate. So really when mind is busy with that, oh something has happened, not happened today, light is there, light is not there, doesn't matter. If I am Bahirmukha, I want to watch programs and all, my light is not the big problem. If light is not there, I will not study, I will just go to contemplation. Or this fan is not there, I will just see that what is the discomfort they call it. Let me be aware of the discomfort. That becomes the object of my dhyana. Of course, we are talking about that type of mind which is antarmukha. So this physical discomfort, the too cold or too hot, they do not become the matter of concern because person is busy with much higher. Otherwise, there will be always some complaint. We had one person in Rishikesh, so he always say, "Oh, अभी तो बहुत ठंडा हो रहा है, बहुत ठंडा हो गया." Then again, then after some time, "Oh, अभी तो बहुत गर्मी होगा, बहुत गर्मी होगा, अभी तो बहुत गर्म है." Always something will be there, either hot or cold. So always mind is busy with that. But if you are busy with something higher, it doesn't matter. When we are committed, then all these things do not matter. That mat is there or not, it's okay. Not there. So still we can sleep. Or if we can't sleep, we can do meditation. So this antarmukha manasa dvandva sahanam is relatively easy. In Hindi में कहते हैं कि नाचनारी का आंगन टेढ़ा. Means a dancer doesn't want to dance, so she will say that is not okay, that is not okay. So when mind is extroverted, then you will find so many reasons to complain. And mind is busy, all these things do not matter at all. They are dropped. Maybe it may cause some discomfort, but if person doesn't want to go and even write the complaint, he said, "Oh, कहाँ जाएगा अभी? चिंतन करो." That type of mind will be there. So बहिर्मुख मनसा न कर्तुं शक्यते, अंतर्मुख मनसा कर्तुं शक्यते. इति तितिक्षा अपि शमम् अपेक्षते. Tidiksha also expects shamam. Sometimes people, when they are doing contemplation, they become too sensitive. Means they have not trained their mind properly. For small things, they will be disturbed. Because Swami used to say that one person, he was disturbed in Rishikesh. Because बोले बहुत noisy है, बहुत noisy है. So people come to Rishikesh for peace, and he was finding noisy. So he said, okay, we go to that some place is there above Rishikesh. Brahma, something Brahmapuri. There also noise. Further Uttarkashi. There also, he said birds are making some noise, something. So there also he found. Then he was fed up with that. He came to South India again. So he came back there. So idea is that mind which is having the mastery, then titiksha is possible. This is a way of looking. It's not that only titiksha, so many other things are required, but this connection between the titiksha and shama. Next. Dama iti, now he concludes, iti shamaha damadinam panchanam sahakari. That shama is sahakari, supportive to damadi pancha. Now next one. Dama. Dama also is required for all other five. That is said here. Vinatu indriya damena manahana jiyate. Iti ataha shamaha api damam akamshate. Vinatu indriya damanena. However, without mastery over the organs, manahana jiyate, mind is not conquered. Iti ataha, therefore, shamaha api, shama also expects dama. So idea is that they grow upon each other. Because if dama is not there and constant inflow is there of the sense objects through the sense organs, then the mastery over the mind doesn't happen. The process doesn't start. And therefore, Shama expects Dama. Shamaha api Damam akamkshate. Expects. Then for Shraddha, also Dama is required. Ruparasadi Vishayasaktasya Guru Vedanta Vakya Shraddha na Jayeta iti ataha Shraddhapi Damam akamkshate. So, a person, we have seen similar thing, Rupadi Vishayasakta. A person who is attached to Rupadi means sense organs are all the time going outside. Dama is not there. Then Guru Vedanta Vakya Shraddha na Jayeta. The Shraddha in the Guru Vedanta Vakya would not be born. Ataha, therefore, Shraddha api Damam akamkshate. Shraddha also expects Dama. Then Indriya Nigraham Antara cha Ekagryam na Manasah Jayeta. Without the mastery over the organs, antara means without. Without the mastery over the organs, ekagryam, cha ekagram, antaracha, and without the mastery over the organs, the concentration of the mind, na jayeta, will not be born. The sense organs are wandering in the objects. How can there be focus? Some people during the class also they cannot maintain the focus. We will be going all over. Therefore, generally we keep minimum things behind us. A little bit like jealous husbands, so we don't want this attention of the listeners to go anywhere. Because the otherwise mind will say, हाँ ये picture है लेकिन बहुत पुराना लगता है. It's a very old picture. Why they don't change it? But see, nowadays difficult to get it. And ashram is like this one. So here I am telling Nitya Shuddha Buddha you are. So that is gone. So person has to have some mastery over the organs, then only focusing will be there. Therefore, samadhanam api damam akankshyate. Next one. Rutetu indriya damena anubhuta vishayaka vasana vegavashat दृष्टेष्ट विषयेषु पुनः पुनः इच्छा जायेत इति अतः उपरतिः अपि दमम् आकांक्षते. He says uparati also expect dama. How? Rutetu indriya damena. He uses all antara, antarena and all these whatever words are there for without he uses. Rutetu indriya damena. Without indriya dama, mastery over the organs. Rute means without. Without that mastery over the organs, in anubhuta visheka vasana vega vashat. Vega vashat. Vashat means on account of, because of the influence of vega, the force of vasana, the impressions regarding what? Anubhuta vishaya. Anubhuta vishaya means experience object. So because of the influence of the force of the impressions regarding the experience objects, what will happen? Drishteshta visheshu, in the objects which are drishta experienced or experienceable, and ishta desirable, in desirable perceptible objects, punaha punaha, again and again, ichha jayeta, the desire will come. Iti ataha, therefore, uparatihi api damam akankshyate. Uparati means what? Sasadhananam karmanam vishayanam cha parityaga. That is uparati. But if dama is not there, then if mind, the organs are allowed, if organs are let loose, then the vasanas are already there. And therefore what? This again and again there will be desire for so many objects. And therefore uparati cannot be maintained. Rute indriya damena. Here the rute word generally governs three, grammatically three, because a vinarthaka is there, therefore dvitiya, tritiya, panchami. Then Koshakara he writes here that rute iti etat shabdasya vinarthatvat tadyoge panchami, dvitiya, tritiya cha bhavati. All three cases can be there. And he says the examples are given for the dvitiya we have got rute pitvam na bhavishyanti sarve, rute tvam, dvitiya. Tritiya, tena rute, without him. Sorry, then we can say tena rute, but generally we don't find that. Panchami is that rute gnanatma mukti. So Panchami and Dvitiya examples are there in Sahitya. Tritiya example is not there. So he writes, Tritiyayaha udaranam mrugyam, means to be found out. मैंने कहा देखो विषय दिया रुते तो इंद्रिय दमेना. So he is writing. मैंने कहा वो अच्छा है. So he must have read this kosha. मृग्यम तो बोले मैं ही लिख देता हूँ. He himself did it. Anyway, so rute to indriya damena. Generally, it governs. Rute shabda is abhyaya. It governs the second case. It governs. Usual example is fifth case, and sometimes dvitiya. Dvitiya example is not same. Only this example. Now we can say Brugyam is not there. Or what is called? What is the past is the Brugitam? I think Brugitam or whatever. It is found. It is to be Brugyam. Right. Okay. The next one is that Titiksha also expects Dama. That part you see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari